Now in this video I'm going to be taking the wing off, showing you what's underneath here, and then assessing all the damage that needs repairing, and I'm going to be concentrating on the inner wing which is underneath here. So I've already taken all the bolts off. So I had a great tip from Tom, thanks for that Tom. I was struggling with all of the bolts. They either are very tight or they just snap off, and he just recommended cut them off because you're going to replace them anyway. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's get this wing off then. Just have a look at this short clip of when I took the wing off for the first time, and I'll show you what it looked like underneath, and then I'll show you what it looks like now. So that's in better condition already, no big hole, that's the main thing. So this bit here, I'm probably going to cut that off anyway because underneath it's bound to be pretty rusty. This is what it looks like now, and I've brushed it off with a wire wheel. Not too bad. I can't get to these parts with my wire wheel, so what I'm going to do is get the heat gun on there and then just get the paint scraper on there and finish that off. Let's have a look at the damage. So all around here we've got rot. Now this piece here has got patches welded on, so that's been repaired in the past. So what I've done is I've actually cut all the way around it now. So just take that off. Now if we have a look at that, it's actually not too bad on the inside, but I'm just going to make a new one in the same way that I made a new one for the other side. I've marked off the areas that I'm going to cut away now. So I'm going to replace this lip here, probably replace this bit here. As you can see, pretty badly corroded. So I've started cutting away all this here, and there are little holes everywhere. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I don't know whether I'm going to patch up the individual holes or just make a complete new piece to go here. And one of the reasons I'll probably end up doing that is because I've got some rust here and I got rust coming up here. So I've got the bolts that snapped off there. So what I'm going to do here is what I did on the previous wing. I'm going to weld metal on the end, try and make a right angle. The heat will help, and then I should be able to get that out. Now the reason why I keep this captive nut is because this is the brake servo here, and there's quite a lot going on underneath there. Let me get the light on it. So you can imagine I've got the reinforcement piece that goes across here, and the only access I get to that is through this hole. And there's 3 bolts there holding the brake servo on. So in order to get to this nut and bolt when I put the wing on, I'd have to get this out of the way. So I'm very keen to keep this captive nut. So I'm just about to weld the end of this broken bolt. Yep, still glowing a little bit red. So I've got the angle on it. Now the heat should help it. So let's have a look. I wiggle it backwards and forwards first. Yep. Oh yeah. So that heat has done the trick. Careful not to touch it with my bare hands, still very, very hot. I think what's making it difficult is the rust that would have been on the thread that protruded past the nut, captive nut. The last couple of threads coming out. Yeah. There you go. That's out. And welding that bit on the end did the trick. So I'm going to try and get the remnants of this off. Then I can see where I stand with these holes and see how much of this I've got to cut away. Just going to cut out this bit, and when I put the patch in, I'll just tidy that up so it's nice and straight. I've already cut this bit out. I've cut this bit out here. This is like, feels quite solid, and I'll probably just put a patch in there. See how we go. Okay, there's the first part cut out. So I'm going to use that to make an accurate patch, especially this curve here. So this is a piece of scrap from a van roof. I've been using this quite a lot. Here's the piece that I'm trying to make, and the bit that I'm trying to marry up is this here. See if I can get it in there. There you go. So you can see it's got a curve. So this part of the van roof has got a nice curve there. Okay, so that almost perfectly matches this curve here. So I'm going to use this bit here. Yep, so I'll just cut that out and marry that up. I'm just going to cut it a bit bigger than I need for now. Then after I've finished just beating it a little bit into shape, then I'll trim it to the fine proportions. Oh, there we go, almost there, I think. I'm using the ball end of this hammer to gently ease it into place now, and I've got some flexible material underneath. Don't need to go mad. Doesn't have to bend that far. Okay, a little bit more hammering just here. So I'm just cleaning up the edges now before I weld it in place. This is exactly the right shape now. This is going well. I weld it on 3 sides. I've ground it back with my heavy duty grinder here as far as I want to at the moment. I want to get a flat wheel on it, but my flat wheel has destroyed itself. Let me show you. So when I said that my flat wheel destroyed itself, what I mean is the grinder itself. So initially I thought it was the brushes that had gone, and the brushes just connect themselves to the commutator bar, and that allows the current to go around the armature, and basically it makes the motor spin. So I put new brushes in, and when I turned it, it came to a sudden stop. And then when I looked more closely, I found that the commutator bar had actually started disintegrating here. So clearly, as that was spinning around, it was chewing up the brushes. So this one's scrap. I left the welding here last time because I ran out of welding gas. Filled it up again now. That's all good to go. So next thing I'm going to do is just cut in there to get that flush. Finish welding this off. Then I'm going to put the flat wheel on here and just get that nice and smooth. This is the next bit to come out then. So 2 things I've got to think about is the location of the holes. So I've got a hole here and there's a hole there which has just rusted away, and that is for the bonnet support to go into. So I cut this line along the center of the hole for the first bolt there, and I can use this as a template to locate the second hole. So this is all rotted here, so I checked along here. Initially I cut here, but the first cut, the metal was too thin, so I made a second cut below it. And then I've cut it along here, and now that's ready to come out. So you see here I've got nice thick clean metal. I'm gonna trim this up, cut this trim here, get rid of the rust in that groove, and gonna make a bit like this, pop it back in there again. I just want to show you this bit. So this is a patch that's been put on, and basically what you've ended up with is a patch over a plate of metal. So you've got a void between this patch and the metal behind, and here's the issue. As soon as you've got two layers of metal, water can get in there, and then look what's happened to this bit here. It's just rotted away. So what I'm going to do is cut out that so there's only one piece of metal, and then water can't get in there anymore. I decided to take the brake servo off in the end, so there's only 3 nuts located in there. Okay, here's something that I've discovered since my last video. So you remember that the brake servo here is attached by these 3 bolts, and the nuts go on there. So this sits down here, and I thought that I would need to get in behind here to take off those 3 nuts before I could get the brake servo off. Turns out it's not the case. So if you look down here, so if you look down here, okay, there's 2 holes, and they are underneath the dashboard. So there should be 2 bolts sticking out of here, and they locate in these 2 holes here. Now the point being that if you want to get the brake servo off, which should sit here, you undo these 2 nuts from underneath the dashboard, and that comes out with the whole assembly, and then you don't need to undo these 3 nuts here, which are difficult to get to from behind here. With mine, obviously the nuts sheared off, so I've got to take them out. It's not a big problem though, because I want to take this off so that I can clean it up and paint it black again. Also, I want to get this off here so that I can clean all this area up, spray it before I put it back together again, so I don't need to go in there again. Okay, just put the washers and nuts back on here, safekeeping. I've decided to cut this bit off. It's got too many holes in it. I'll just make a new one. The other thing about this is there's just too many layers here. It's going to lead to trouble later when water gets underneath there, so I just cut it off. Looks like somebody's had a go at repairing it in the past anyway, the thickness of that piece there. So I've got my rough patch ready, needs cleaning up. Just going to cut this bit off here. I left that there because I didn't know what I was going to do with it. Yeah, we'll just hammer it down actually. Okay. Here we go then. So I've got two patches in. I've got this one in, I've got that one in. This one went in really well. This end went in really well. It was quite a tight join. I've got a little hole there which I've just noticed, so we're going to have to fill that one in. This one I ended up with quite a big gap here. Don't know why, because I made it a bit bigger. So this hole here is for the bonnet support. I'll clean that up with a drill. So I filled it in. I put a bit of filler in there, filled it in. Yeah, so I'm okay with that. I've got this hole and that hole to do, and I've got to make the reinforcement that goes across here, the triangular bit. So next thing I'm going to do is paint all the areas like under here and all the rusty bits with some rust converter. Get a bit of focus. Yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do is paint all the bits where you got surface rust with rust converter, and then I can paint it with some hammerite. So getting there with this side, I'm going to call it a day today. Probably going to split the video here as well. Let's have a closer look at the work that I've done so far. Get some decent light on it. Actually, that light's not too bad there. So there's the seam, there's the edge. I've actually got to get the flat wheel on here when my other angle grinder arrives. So this was the other bit I put in down here, and I also put this bit on here, so that's got to be cleaned up once I get the flat wheel. So next bit is this hole and that hole. I think that's, oh, and this bit as well, and that'll be this side complete. So I also took the brake servo out of its housing, so I learnt a lot from that as well. I shared that with you. So that's the end of this video, and join me again to finish off this side of the wing. So bye for now, and thanks for watching.